Hello, my name is Miles McGann. I'm the CEO of Progressive Orthodontics. Today I'm here with my good friend Willem Koelewijn from Holland. So Willem is a longtime POS instructor, one of our original students in the Dutch class when we first expanded into Holland back in the early 90s. He's been teaching for us basically ever since, I believe. And he runs a very large practice in Holland and has a lot of experience both in ortho as well as in every type of dentistry. And I think we'll have some interesting concepts, especially if you're into a large practice environment with lots of volume. So welcome, Willem. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about how you got started with POS back in the, early 90s, I remember.
92, actually. Yes, that's quite an interesting story because in the Netherlands we have the normal dental education as they have everywhere in the world, in universities and stuff like that. And they tell you about ortho, but they actually don't tell you about ortho.
Of course.
And that is what I see in time. I've seen it all around. So they try to keep it for themselves, more or less. That's my opinion. So I was living and I was working in a kind of a remote area where orthodontist was not available. And people have to send their children out to an orthodontist, which was a one-way trip by bus for an hour and a half to have a visit for 5 minutes and come back for an hour and a half. So you see, there was a lot of peer pressure on me to do it myself. But I didn't have the knowledge, actually. So I only did some removable appliances, and then you're easily done. Huh? You can do a very good job. So I didn't get a satisfaction of it. And then I was looking for to make a better work. And I started putting on some brackets once in combination with the removable appliances. And then I was looking at seminars or courses, but there were courses in the Netherlands, but they let you go there for, let's say, on a Friday afternoon, and you start at 2 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, the instructors were gone, and they keep you busy forever, doing the same thing as you were doing as a student. So it didn't make any progress. So I didn't want to go there. Then there was a course coming up like Progressive Orthodontic, POS, in the Netherlands. And I thought, okay, let's go there. It was a 3-day course, and I thought I could be an orthodontist in 3 days. It turned out to be something else, but whatever. We tried. We went there, and there was a tremendous amount of people. I like about 140 or something. First time. So your dad was there. But after 1 day, 2 days, he told so much that I was really convinced of, this is the way to go. And then he told us that this was just the beginning of a whole seminar series, which involves like 12 or 14, I forgot a little bit, of these 4-day seminars. So I was there with a friend, and we decided, okay, we learned so much that we said, okay, let's take the other one too. We will be back in 4 or 5 weeks when he was showing up again. So we did that, and then after that we said, yeah, but we want to know more, so let's take the other one. And then after 3, I think we made a decision that, we do everything, and so it went on.
So one of the classic stories that my dad's always told about you was going back to kind of this volume concept, he said one of the early seminars, you ask him, hey, can you take a look at some of my cases? And he's like, sure. He goes, let me go out to my car. And he walked in with a suitcase full of cases of models and records and said, all right, let's sit down and do these. And you sat there and diagnosed all night long. And he said at the end of it, he's exhausted, it's 1 a.m. or something, can barely see straight. And he says, so can we do this again tomorrow? My dad's going, how is this possible? You have this many cases, but this was part of the Dutch system.
Actually, I was already running a kind of an ortho practice, but I was doing it my way, and that was the old-fashioned way: appliances, removable, partially fixed. Trying to find a way. And then your father came and he told us the things that the Dutch orthodontists didn't want us to know.
For sure.
Actually.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what it started. So in '94, I think we graduated, and I changed my whole system. I threw all the old stuff away and recharged on the new one, and from there it started to be POS.
But the Dutch system, has always been a volume-based system because it is more of a insurance-based, so it's not a lot of money out of the patient's pockets. But as long as they keep their education levels up and keep keep coming back to the dentist, then the government or the insurance pays for, their treatment. And so because of that, you've seen a lot of changes in the Dutch system over the years.
Yes.
Where, I remember when you first started doing ortho fees were very high. And then ever since that point, the government's been constantly chipping away to now it's very low.
Yep.
But you've always been able to do high volume. But you're one of the few dentists in Holland that I've known that said, look, the government's going to do what it's going to do. Tell me the rules, I'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
Is that, definitely always been your perspective, right?
Yeah, that's kind of my personality, I think, because my accountant always told me if you work less, you don't have to pay less taxes. I said, yeah, but I'm not gonna listen to the government and the tax to decide what I'm gonna do.
Right.
I'm gonna do it, and if I can avoid paying too much, I will do that, But so it's always you have your own way to go through life.
Right.
And especially I was, and I'm still am, in this kind of a remote area where I provide a system and a care for people, and you also have like in life social obligations and stuff like that. It's not just being there and making the much money you can for yourself. For sure. So I think you have some responsibilities to the society. They educated you kind of, and so you have to pay back in a way.
So your practice size-wise, how many chairs do you have these days?
9.
You have 9 chairs, and how many staff members?
Altogether we're with 25 or something.
25 or something.
Yeah, but I have now I have 3 other dentists working there.
Okay.
And me, and then I'm not the whole week working anymore, but still 3 or even more than 3 days. Yeah.
So your practice style, do you do ortho on one day, or do you do
most of it? No. I skip. What I have these 9 chairs. I have 3 blocks of 3 chairs.
Okay.
And what I do is I do the ortho on Wednesday. Wednesday, I start in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, and I work till 10 at night.
Okay.
Yeah, because Wednesday is the day that the schools have the afternoon off.
Yep.
You see, and then it's easy. I try to go to schedules where the children don't have to skip school.
Right.
So then they can come to our office. Maybe they have to wait a little bit because there is a high volume of patients, but they have Wi-Fi today, and and they can read whatever. But Wi-Fi is the solution for everything. They can watch their own videos, and then they will be served. And okay. And so that's the Wednesday part. And then I think I see most of the time, maybe 80 patients or something.
80 patients in an afternoon.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, in the
so
afternoon and
fast.
evening. Yeah, moving fast.
So how much do you actually, what's your typical interaction with the patient during that time, or how's your typical workflow in a high volume practice like that?
Yeah, I have a dental nurse in every room.
Yep.
And I'm going around. And there is even one more extra that is bringing stuff in and out and cleaning and everything that is necessary, And I'm, what your dad used to say, kind of doing ortho with the hands in the pockets. It's not actually true. I do some actual work too, because sometimes, for example, you have a bracket that has bracket error. It's not in the right place, I can make a long prescription for my dental nurse to put it on another way.
Right.
But I see what I see.
Right.
So I clip it off. They go to the lab.
Right.
They sandblast it or take a new one, and I put it on the way that I want.
Exactly.
So you see, and that I'm doing in 1825 wires.
Right. So there's a balancing act there. Some things are just faster for you to do yourself.
Yes.
And other things are faster to have your assistants do for you. And
the bulk of the work is done by the assistants, but I do the.
And you're more of the director and the making sure that everything's going how it's supposed to be going. You still have to know every patient, know what's going on with every patient, have a system in place to.
I don't know all the patients, but I'm. It's like playing chess on several
Right.
You know?
So how many chairs are you working in on Wednesday afternoons?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 or 4 chairs,
Yeah.
4 assistants going,
Yeah.
moving quickly from chair to chair to chair.
Yeah.
The comment, just so if, for those you don't know, the hands in the pocket. In ortho, one of the funny parts about it is sometimes the more you touch, the slower it goes.
Yeah.
So the concept that my father had was, you know, put your hands in your pockets so you're not tempted to touch the patient, because every dentist wants to always touch the patient.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can do
Yeah.
more harm than good by doing that. And so that's the hands-off approach, because, you know, some appointments you definitely need to be touching the patient. Other appointments, you're better off not doing it.
Yeah.
So that's part of that. That's where that term comes from for those of you that
Yeah,
haven't
and you
heard that
should
term
not
before.
underestimate the possibilities of your employees.
That's right.
They can do things faster and better.
Absolutely.
A lot of times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've always really admired about you is you're willing to go anywhere and experience life in any country in the world. What's been the most interesting place and interesting group you've ever had the opportunity to teach?
I remember Nepal, which was kind of a, it is a third world country actually. And then you're talking to people, and I think this is planting a seed, like something, you know, then it can grow from there. This is really the beginning of ortho in a country like that.
100%.
Yeah.
This was probably the first time we went through there, so that was maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah.
15 years ago, probably, something like that?
No, it's not that long ago.
Oh,
It's
okay.
maybe 6 or 7.
Oh,
or
okay,
something.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know exactly,
Yeah,
but that was a good impression. I like to go to Asian countries.
Yeah.
They have a lot of questions, sometimes a little bit too much, even during coffee break. Doctor, can I ask you, you know, without paying?
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Of course.
But okay, if you understand everything, then you can play with that a little bit. And then you still can satisfy them and motivate them. Motivating is one of the most important things in my volume practice, and also what I'm doing in POS stuff. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all your time. It's been wonderful to see you again. And again, you know, for all of you, please tune in as we interview a few more. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure too.